Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. According to the vast majority of the analysts that I've followed that have spoken on the topic, it looks like Bitcoin is much more probable than not to grind up from here, so this was just the most recent shakeout, and it's not time to sell. And it's never time to panic sell. If you want to sell, fine. I'm just saying, just doing something like that in a fit of panic is not exactly a good idea. So you know what? The cycle isn't over until XRP says it's over. Damn it. So anyway, I just want to share with you some perspective from a number of individuals, and I got some thoughts along the way. But before going any further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I record this, XRP is at $1.20, so holding its own clearly. Bitcoin at $64,433, market cap for the asset class $2.9 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 41.88%. So here's how low Bitcoin got within the last 24 hours. And this is what some seem to think more probabilistic than not would be the local low, which was at $62,504. So that was the shakeout. Apparently, according to some at least, that's all she wrote. And now we're just going to be moving back on up, as you'll see. So how are the lemmings out there handling this? The lovable, cuddly little typical retail speculators out there that don't know like what to do with their hands most of the time. Like they don't even know where they are. Like I just assume anyway. Like they're like what's going on here? I don't know. I'm a lemon. Like that's what I assume. Anyway, I don't know what it's like to be one of those. I am a retail speculator, but not like them. Let's say I'm not prone to respond to emotions. But this is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index sitting at 72 out of 100, indicating that the little lemmings out there, lovable, cuddly little lemmings out there, if they're feeling greedy, that's good. I don't want them in fear. I'd rather them be greedy little bitches than be in fear, because that would be kind of... I don't wish that upon them, you know? And take a look at this, too. I was tagged in this along with chart analyst Credible Crypto by XRP community member Frecky, and I like this, and I think it's true, so I wanted to highlight it in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. Here's what XRP community member Frecky said. I'm one of the very few people that owned Bitcoin in 2011 and say it's not as important to hold as crypto overall. In fact, if you are just starting out, Bitcoin shouldn't be your target, as you won't make large multiples in it. And I must say, in a general sense, I certainly do agree with that. And because, like, I still think it's too early to determine with extremely high confidence which cryptocurrencies will be around another decade or two or three. And so I have my suspicions, and maybe Bitcoin will be one of those. Many people in the space think that it's the most probable to stick around, and we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that happens. It's not being used for anything other than store of value, not in any sort of meaningful way. I think that's a concern in a world where, you know, there's a sufficiently matured asset class. I think that cryptocurrencies that solve problems for people, I think that you know, money flows to where problems are being solved. So if, as the asset class evolves, maybe Lightning Network gets adopted, maybe that does save Bitcoin, and then it's got all sorts of additional utility, in which case, well, yeah, of course, then Bitcoin might just be around forever. Maybe it's number one in market cap forever. And if that's the case, fine. I don't know for sure. But I'm telling you here, in the short term, what's more appealing to me? Well, I'm not as interested in the smaller cap coins, just generally speaking. I own a couple, but I'm not as interested in them because they're like way more risky than large cap coins. There could be some sort of technological problem. Is there a rug pull? Is it going to get hacked? Whereas with a large cap coin with XRP that has historically behaved very well and still doesn't actually have that much money in it, that means there's an opportunity for asymmetrical gains, dramatic. So for me, like there's a reason XRP is my largest holding. There's a strong reason. I don't know when utility, you know, the importance of utility is going to kick in and matter, so I'm covered if that happens with XRP because it is functionally being used today. And in the short term, we're in a bull cycle with the only top 10 cryptocurrency that hasn't hit its all-time high this cycle. My gosh. Like, for people jumping into crypto now, and there are so many people new to crypto, I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold anything. You do you. I'm just saying that I suspect that if you took any individual jumping into crypto right now, and you see if they're all buying crypto today, the people that buy XRP versus the people that buy Bitcoin if you just take where the prices are now and look at where each tops out, and we don't know where that'll be yet, but once we have the benefit of hindsight, I'm just saying, if you look at where XRP tops out this market cycle in terms of the multiplier effect from this exact moment in time, I think it's pretty damn clear that XRP is going to outperform, and I think it will over the next market cycle as well, and maybe the one after that. You're starting to get out there at that point, because there's a lot of stuff that can happen in between. But there's so much less money, and that's the key thing to take away. Even just setting aside utility, like how much money is in these things. That's what really matters. And with XRP, the answer is not that much. So anyway, I appreciate being tagged, Frecky. If you happen to be listening, thank you very much. Always appreciate your thoughts and insight on this. And so again, he's an OG. He's been in crypto since 2011, before I even knew it existed. I wish I had been so fortunate, but still. And so he's saying no. And so he's a strong proponent for a number of cryptocurrencies, including XRP. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Credible Crypto. And he wrote the following: decided to take the lows first. Let's run it back to $66,000 now. Note that while Bitcoin made a local lower low here, most altcoins did not. This is a good sign. Of course, he's referencing Bitcoin there. So he does seem to think that the local low we recently saw, that's it, and we're going to, more likely than not, move back on up to the upside. I would prefer that. I bet most of you would too, so there we go. Continue on with the bull run. Yes, I would prefer that. Somebody named Bruce asked Credible Crypto, hey, Cred, what are your thoughts on Plan B's stock-to-flow model? Do your projections allow for Bitcoin at $98,000 in November? Now, Plan B, I've cited him on the channel. He's perhaps the most popular analyst in crypto on the planet, with now, I think, over 1.4 million followers on Twitter. Just absolutely huge. And his notoriety primarily comes from applying the stock-to-flow model to Bitcoin. He's the first person to have done that. And he is calling. He has a separate model. Actually, I can just pull it up right now. I had it here. He's got a couple different models. So there's the stock to flow, and then he has a separate floor model, which is indicating that Bitcoin should be at $98,000 this month and $135,000 next month. So I don't even feel like I need to read the tweet. It's on your screen if you want to take a look at it. I don't feel like I need to read through it right now. Just feel free to pause if you want to take a look at that. But that's kind of what he's getting at here. So the stock to flow model, and basically this idea of a $100,000 plus Bitcoin, and much sooner than later, it's like imminent as far as he's concerned. That's what his models are showing. And so Credible Crypto was asked about this, and he said, not going to happen in my opinion. So while Plan B is calling for $98,000 Bitcoin November, this month, so within the next few weeks, Credible Crypto says no, absolutely not. Now, I don't pretend to know who's right and who's wrong, but damn, I'm just as fascinated as you are, which is why I keep tracking this. Like, I can't wait to see how this unfolds so we can finally find out. Interesting stuff. Then there was this from chart analyst Leb Crypto. One more dump to take out the most recent low. Give me $61,775 with bullish divergence on the H3, and I bid long. And so, as far as he's concerned, not quite low enough, but really it's kind of in the ballpark of what we already saw in terms of what Credible Crypto thought was a bottom. So Leb Crypto seems to think that it needs to go a hair lower before it would go back up. But in terms of the dollar figure, not that different from what actually happened. Just me looking as a non-technical analyst here anyway. And then there's this from Kaleo, who simply was tweeting about Bitcoin and wrote, another perfect bounce off support. So he seems to not be surprised, and indicating more likely than not, looks like he just see it continue to bounce off support. And so, I don't know, he's not saying the bottom is in there necessarily, but I just want to share with you a few tweets from some of the analysts that I follow. But in a general sense, if you just go, I just went through a bunch of analysts that I follow, and it's kind of similar feelings on Bitcoin right now, so I just thought I'd highlight some of that. Now take a look at this from Will Clemente, who does a lot of on-chain analysis regarding Bitcoin, and he tweeted out the following. Here, I'll just make this full screen. Long-term holders buy Bitcoin into weakness and sell into strength. We've just gotten our first red prints on long-term holders' net position change in over 6 months, showing bull market distribution has begun. So this is worth noting. And then he shared this also. This week we have seen our first red prints in long-term holder net position change. This looks at the 30-day net change in long-term holder supply. Because of this, there must be a fairly strong trend to start seeing a trend in long-term holder net position change. This is representative of long-term holders starting to sell into strength. As we have discussed many times, long-term holders buy into weakness and they don't perfectly buy the bottom, and they sell into strength and they don't perfectly sell the top. This is a natural bull market behavior. As you can see, in 2020, this distribution began in October and peaked out in early January of this year. And so I'll bring up the chart full screen right here. But, this is a concept that I've been talking about for some time. It's basically the whole, buy low, sell high, right? In a general sense, that's kind of what we're getting at. But it's messy, and you're not going to be able to do it perfectly, and humans are really good at beating themselves up for this. You buy something, oh my gosh, I just bought it, and now it's even lower. I'm an idiot. No, you're not an idiot. You can't time the bottom. Of course you're not an idiot for that. And then when you sell and you're like, wow, this is a lot more than what I paid for it, and you sell it, and then it just keeps on going up. Oh, I'm an idiot. I could have had time. That's my money. That's childish. Don't think like that. You're okay. You just made a bunch of money. You're smart, not an idiot. It's okay to sell. Even if it goes up 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 times higher than when you sell it, if it's a lot of money to you, you just took risk off the table. And you didn't, somebody making fun of you with the benefit of hindsight, what a jerk face. They didn't know back then, just like you didn't know back then, and you removed risk from the, yes. And this is what long-term holders do. And so the people that hold long-term, they're the ones that make the frickin' money. Look at how they're behaving. And no, they're not perfect in terms of selling the top or buying the bottom. Of course not. But look at what the data shows. These are the people that are making the money. This is their behavior. And it is messy. And I'm going to be in this clump. And I'll tell you what, and anybody who wants to be a jerk after you see that I sell my XRP, even if it goes up 10 times that, fine, be a jerk. I'm going to be like, I just made my damn money, son, and it took me years, and I was patient, and I understood what I was doing, and it worked out, and fine. Because it's good enough for me. Good enough for me might be, it will be if I sell it all. That will mean that it's rather life-changing, right? So anybody can make fun of me for accumulating life-changing wealth they want, but it's stupid. And so don't beat yourself up either for this. This is normal stuff here. Take a look at this also from analyst Il Capo, who simply wrote, "We will see more of these until the market reaches its top. Don't sell." And so he's just highlighting on this chart various shakeouts, recent ones. Folks, this is normal. Think about that. Think about the emotions that people that don't know what the hell they're doing were feeling, going through all this. The lovable, cuddly little typical retail speculators. Well, it's not going to stop. You think just because you buy crypto, now the volatility stops, it's just going to go up, and so it'll be volatile, but only up. Come on. You're not going to buy the damn bottom, right? It's okay. It's definitely okay. Calm down, son. So anyway, lots of reason to be excited here. And also, by the way, I wanted to mention this too. As far as XRP, this is something that the blockchain backer just recently said. It's rare to see XRP grind up in terms of price in the same way you frequently see Bitcoin. For instance, Bitcoin, and he cited this in a recent video. Bitcoin last market cycle went from whatever it was, $600 to $20,000 in the course of about a year, right? And the $20,000 mark, that was its top. And now with XRP, it typically just goes up in basically a straight line. And so he noted it's XRP, you can kind of use it as an indicator that Bitcoin has basically hit its top, if history is to repeat anyway. And we haven't seen that yet. So way more likely than not, Bitcoin's going to keep on moving up. And so look, as far as XRP, it's not that XRP doesn't ever grind in any sort of range, but what I'm saying is, when you're talking about the truly huge moves from one price point to another, XRP doesn't really grind, it just pops. And yes, it's volatile while it pops. Even during that 2.5 week period from mid-December 2017 until January 4th, 2018, when XRP had its biggest, coolest run in history. There were some major swings in between that, but still, if you zoom out, it looks like a damn straight line at this point. But I was there. I was living through the volatility, and it was shaking people out. I'm just saying it was really quick. And so we haven't seen that yet. So, and XRP did trade sideways for half a year leading up to that rally. So it's behaving like normal. I don't see anything weird at this point. I'm excited. I'm just waiting for the damn thing to go. I'll wrap up there, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon Lambo.